So yesterday we have end our lecture on this particular point, comparison of ideal and practical diode. Those who are not rejoined, they have missed a very good conceptual session of ideal op-amp and their characteristics. So still you can watch my video on my YouTube channel. I have uploaded this yesterday's lecture. Okay, so we would be move further. We have already do the comparison of ideal op-amp as a practical op-amp on this 10 parameters. Okay, now we have to be see today about the open loop configuration. So you can represent the op-amp in two different loops configuration. One is open loop, another is closed loop. So first of all, we have to be discuss about the open loop. So in the case of amplifiers, the term open loop indicates that no connection exists between input and output terminals of any type. So in the open loop indicates means no connections exist between the input terminal and the output terminal in any way. That is, output signal is not fed back in any form as a part of input signal. So in the open loop configuration, the op-amp functions as a high gain amplifier. Okay, so if you have to be see, we have already discussed the feedback amplifier when we have learned the unit number 2 MOSFET based feedback circuits. So there also we have seen that open loop gain and the closed loop gain. So similarly here we are not feeding the fed signal back to the input from the output side, means it is open loop configuration. And in the case of op-amp, open loop gain is very high. Okay, so basically there are the three open loop configurations in the op-amp. The first one is simultaneously, please draw the diagram also. The whatever diagram is appeared on the slide, please draw this diagram or at least take the screenshot. So the differential amplifier, this is the first open loop configuration. You can see in this particular diagram, as a regular op-amp, there is the op-amp symbol we have seen here. This is the two terminals. One is the inverting, another is a non-inverting terminal. Positive means non-inverting and negative is inverting terminal. So in this open loop differential amplifier, input signal is Vin1 is applied to the non-inverting terminal and Vin2 applied to the inverting terminal. Okay, and since the op-amp amplifies the difference between two input signals, this configuration is called as differential amplifier. So you can see here it is a Vd, that is a difference of these two input signals, Vin1 and Vin2. But if you have to see here, observe on the particular, before this particular op-amp input terminals, there is another voltage is indicated, V1 and V2. So would we see V1 is same as Vin1 or not, and V2 is same as Vin2 or not. And there is also in between of both terminals, there is a resistance Rin1 and Rin2 is connected. Okay, so now we have to analyze this circuitry. So the op-amp amplifies basically both AC and DC input signals. We know this when we are discussing the DC and AC parameters. We have discussed that it would be amplify both signals, AC and DC signals. And here if you have to see the diagram, Rin1, the source resistance Rin1 and Rin2 are considered negligible compared to input resistance of the op-amp, because we know that ideally op-amp has infinite input impedance, but practically if you have to be considered, we have taken the practical case of IC741, that was 2 mega ohm. So it is also very high value. So you can neglect the effect of R in 1 and R in 2 in compared to the input resistance of the op amp. If it is so, the voltage drop across this resistance can be assumed 0. If Ri is very much larger than R in 1 and R in 2, so voltage drop across R in 1 and R2 would be considered as 0. If it is happening, means V1 is equal to V in 1, V2 is equal to V in 2. So in this way, we can write the equation for the output voltage V0 is equal to AD differential gain into V in 1 minus V in 2. And AD is your open loop gain here because it is an open loop configuration. There is no feedback. And generally, open loop gain is very high in the case of op amp. Okay. So in this way, we can correlate the output and input terms in the case of differential amplifier. And always in this case, your output voltage is a function of differential input voltage. Okay. So second configuration we have to be learned, that is the inverting amplifier. This is the diagram you can see here. It is very much clear from this which kind of the connections we have to be done in the op amp, then it would be considered as the inverting. So inverting is what? Negative terminal. Okay. So you can see here, to make the op amp inverting amplifier, we have grounded the non-inverting terminal. We have grounded the non-inverting terminal. And input voltage is applied at the inverting or negative terminal through the resistance Re. And the differential voltage between both of the terminal is Vd, that is V1 minus V2 as usual. So in this way we can say that if input is applied to the only inverting terminal and non-inverting terminal is grounded, then it is called inverting amplifier. This definition is very important for oral point of view also. If input is applied to the only inverting terminal and non-inverting terminal is grounded, then it is called the inverting amplifier. So as per our assumption, V1 is 0 because it is grounded, V2 is equal to V in, so V0 would be equal to what? AD V1 minus V2. So V0 minus V in is minus AD V in. This is very important relationship in the case of inverting amplifier. So what this negative sign indicates? This negative sign indicates that your output voltage is out of phase with respect to the input. Out of phase means 180-degree out of phase. So you can see here, what do you mean by the out of phase? We have already discussed, but again I am showing you this. Suppose this is your V in. On the same axis we would be plot the V0. So out of phase, 180-degree out of phase means where there is a positive amplitude, there would be you would be obtain a negative amplitude. Okay. And when there is a negative amplitude, you would be obtain a positive amplitude. So you can see that output voltage is 180-degree out of phase, means wherever there is a positive input, there is a negative output. When there is a negative input, there is a positive output. Okay. Means opposite polarity. Thus, input signal is amplified but also inverted. Okay. This is the second open loop configuration. Now we have to refer the third open loop configuration, that is the non-inverting amplifier. So you can see that the changes we have done in the connections. So in this configuration, input voltage is applied to the non-inverting terminal. You can see V in is applied to the non-inverting terminal, means positive terminal to Re. And inverting terminal is grounded now. So in this case, V1 is equal to V in and V2 is equal to 0. So V0 is equal to what? AD V1 minus V0 V2. So V in minus 0, that is AD V in. And this is positive. Output voltage is here positive. That's why it is called a non-inverting amplifier. This means input voltage is amplified by the amount of AD, open loop gain, but there is no phase reversal, means it is in same phase with the input signal. So in this case, what happens? This is your input signal, so output signal would be also amplified but in the same phase. Okay, this is the basic difference between the inverting and non-inverting amplifier. So these are the three main configuration that is used in the open loop op-amp. So in all these three configuration, any input signal would be slightly greater than the zero. It drives the output to the saturation level. Why this is happen? Means if it is in any configuration being positive, that means your output will be goes into the saturation level. Why? Because open loop gain of op-amp is very high. Okay. So thus operated, we have seen the open loop gain practically 2 lakh, and in the ideally it is infinite. So thus when operated in open loop, the output of the op-amp is either negative or positive saturations, or maybe switching between the positive and negative saturation levels. Therefore, open loop op-amp is not used in linear applications because the gain is very high. We can't use these configurations for the linear amplifiers or linear applications. Okay. So this is all about the open loop configuration. Now we have to be discuss closed loop configurations. So we have to be see what we mean by the closed loop amplifiers or closed loop configurations. So the gain of op-amp can be controlled if feedback is introduced in the circuit. That is, an output is fed back to the input either directly or via some network. So basically closed loop is used to stabilize the gain, because we know that open loop gain is very high. We have to be required to stabilize it. That's why we have to use the feedback network. If the signal feedback is of opposite or out of phase by 180 degree with respect to the input signal, the feedback is called as negative feedback. The feedback is called as negative if it is output signal is 180 degree out of phase of the input signal. So an amplifier with negative feedback has a self-correcting ability of the changing output voltage caused by the changes in environmental conditions. This is one of the very good ability of the negative feedback amplifier. It can be changed in the output voltage if because of any reasons, and here we have considered environmental conditions. That's why it is called as degenerative feedback, because it reduces the output voltage. That means it reduces the voltage gain. Okay. And the second kind of feedback is positive feedback. So how the positive feedback is possible? If signal is feedback in phase with the input signal, so the feedback is called the positive feedback. And if in positive feedback, basically feedback signal aids the input signal, so it is also known as regenerative feedback. So can anyone tell me the application of the positive feedback or regenerative feedback? In which particular circuitry we add the output signal to the input signal as a feedback? Anyone from your class? 51 is attending. So anyone please answer. The application of the positive feedback we have learned in the second unit. In which circuitry we use the positive feedback? No response. It is a very simple answer. The answer is oscillators. We have learned RC phase shift oscillator, Wien-Bridge oscillator. So these are the some circuitry or applications where we use the positive feedback. Okay. Now the negative feedback stabilizes the gain, increases the bandwidth, and changes the input and output resistance. Negative feedback, what is the function of this? We have learned already characteristics of negative feedback in unit 2. That is stabilize the gain, increase the bandwidth, and do the sufficient change in the input resistance as well as the output resistance. If you talk about the other benefits of negative feedback, it would be reduce the distortion and reduce the offset output voltage. It also reduces the effect of temperature and supply voltage variation on the output of op-amp. So you can see that negative feedback has lots of advantages. Only the sacrification of the gain would be reduced, but it would be stabilize the gain. So today we would be discuss some negative feedback configuration using op-amp. So a closed loop amplifier can be represented by the two blocks of op-amp, one for op-amp and another is for the feedback circuit. And if you have to be see, there is a 4 different ways that we can connect these two blocks. The connections are classified according to whether the voltage or current is feedback to the input in series or in parallel. So current and voltage would be here a sample signal, and series and parallel is the type of mixing. So first one is voltage series feedback, second one is voltage shunt feedback, third one is current series feedback, and fourth one is the current shunt feedback. But as per syllabus, we would only discuss voltage series feedback and voltage shunt feedback using op-amp. Other configuration we have already learned in the case of MOSFET based amplifiers or FET based amplifiers. Okay. Now this diagram is very much important, that we have also seen in the second unit as well. This block diagram would be same for feedback configurations. So in this diagram, you can see that 4 different types of feedback has been shown. Please take the screenshot of this. So first one is the voltage series, where the output voltage is fed back. That's why we have connected the feedback network parallel to the load resistor. So your voltage would be fed back, and then it is mixed in series with the input signal. That's why it is called the voltage series feedback. Second one is the here output sampling is same as the voltage sampling, but mixing is in shunt manner. That's why it is called the voltage shunt, because feedback network is connected in parallel to the input voltage, that is shunt mixing. Now the third one is we have make a loop on the output network that would be responsible for feeding the output current back to the input side, and it would be also make second loop in the input side with the input voltage source. That means it is series mixing. And the last one is where output current is fed back to the feedback network, but it would be mixed in shunt manner. That's why the feedback network is connected in parallel with respect to the input voltage source. So it is called as a current shunt feedback. Okay. So I hope all of you have drawn this diagram or either taken the screenshot. This is very useful and knowledgeable block diagram to understand the concept of all 4 types of feedback configuration. Okay. Now we have to be refer the first one, that is voltage series feedback, and it is also called non-inverting voltage feedback circuit. So name is very much clearing the purpose. Non-inverting means we would be apply the input voltage to the non-inverting terminal, and feedback is given to the inverting terminal. With this type of feedback, input signal drives the non-inverting input of the amplifier, and the fraction of output voltage is then feedback to the inverting input. Okay. So the op amp is represented by its symbol, including its large signal voltage gain. Maybe you consider it is AD or A, whatever. You have to be like this. And feedback circuit is composed of two resistors, R1 and RF. So we would be see the circuitry now, how this connection has been established. So everyone draw this diagram. This is the circuit diagram that represents the voltage series feedback amplifier using op amp. Till we have only know to draw the voltage series feedback amplifier using transistor or FET. But now this is the new configuration, that is with using op amp. You can see here in the non-inverting terminal we have applied the input voltage. In the inverting terminal we have to be connect the feedback loop, feedback circuitry. So from output terminal we have draw one wire or to connect the feedback network, that is RF and R1. This is a two voltage divided network as shown here, and the voltage drop across this R1 is nothing but your feedback voltage. Okay. If you want to understand with the help of a block diagram, so it is very simple. The A is representing the gain of the op amp, B is representing the feedback factor of the feedback network that is made with the help of R1 and RF. Output voltage is fed to this feedback block, and output of this feedback block is feedback voltage, that is mixed with the input voltage in series manner, and it is a negative feedback, so it is a in negative polarity with respect to the input voltage. So there is a difference signal. VD is the error signal or difference, V in minus Vf. Okay, it is what V in minus Vf, because it is a negative feedback. If it is positive, then it is a plus sign. So we have to see some important formulas here. That is open loop voltage gain AD. Okay, that is V0 upon VD, means differential input. Closed loop voltage gain ACL, that is V0 upon V in. So here the denominator is changed. Now we are not using the differential input, it is simply a input voltage, that is AC input voltage. You can see here, this is the source. Now feedback circuit gain, you can see here in the transistor section we have used the term beta. You can use either beta here also, but here we have used the B term, capital B, as a feedback circuit gain, that is Vf upon V0. Okay, so you can also say that Vf is equal to B V0. Okay, and B would be always between 0 to 1, means Vf would be always less than the V0, and differential input is Vd is equal to V in minus Vf. It is also very important term. V in minus Vf is the Vd. So here Vd is what? V in minus Vf, voltage drop across R1. So hope you have already drawn this diagram. Now we would be further elaborate the concept of voltage series feedback here. So the feedback voltage always opposes the input voltage or is out of phase by 180 degree with respect to the input voltage. Hence this feedback is called as a negative feedback. So you can see the expression, mathematical expression here. So closed loop gain is what? ACL, that is V0 upon V in. V0 is A into differential input, that is V1 minus V2. That is V1 is the voltage at the non-inverting terminal, that is V in. V2 is the voltage at the inverting terminal. So as per our circuit diagram, it is Vf. So it is A V in minus B V naught. We have already defined the B, that is VF upon V naught. So that's why it is B naught is the VF. Okay. So there is a V naught term is there. So bring this V naught term one side. So it would be LHS side. V naught would be common. 1 plus AB is equal to A into V in. So V naught upon V in is equal to what? This is the closed loop gain. A upon 1 plus AB. We know that in the case of negative feedback, always the denominator term is 1 plus AB. Means your gain would be reduced. But if you are using the positive feedback, it would be negative sign. Okay. So this is a closed loop gain of voltage series feedback configuration. Okay. Now, if you have to be see here, the product of A and B in the closed loop gain is very much high, and the loop gain is very high or very large in the case of voltage series feedback. So AB is very much larger than 1. So we can write it as V naught upon V in is equal to A upon AB. So you can see here it would be 1 upon B. That means your gain would be now become independent of the transistor parameters. Okay, it would be only depend upon the feedback network. Okay, so you can represent the B as also R1 plus RF upon R1. That is equal to 1 plus RF upon R1. So as it is a non-inverting configuration, we have already cleared this. So it would be 1 plus RF upon R1. Simultaneously, you would be start to fill up your attendance also. Okay. So if you have to be see the mathematical elaboration of this voltage series feedback, this shows that overall gain of the circuit equals to the reciprocal of B. It means your closed loop gain is no longer dependent upon the gain of the op-amp. It only depends upon the feedback of voltage divided network. Okay, so the feedback is gain means B could be precisely controlled and it is independent of the amplifier. So in this way, closed loop gain is independent of the op-amp gain of the op-amp. Okay, so if you have to be see physically what is happening in this circuitry actually, if you have to be refer this voltage series feedback circuitry. So the gain is approximately constant, even though the differential voltage gain may change, it does not make any change in the overall closed loop gain. Suppose the gain A increases for some reasons, maybe because of temperature. So the output voltage will be try to increase. And this means more voltage is feedback to the inverting input and causing the differential input Vd to decrease. This is almost offset the attempted increase in the output voltage. Okay. On the other hand, if A decreases, the output voltage decreases, it reduces the feedback voltage Vf, and hence Vd voltage increases. Thus, the output voltage increases almost to the same level. Okay. So you can see here what is happening when we are talking about the closed loop gain. We are saying that we are applied the negative feedback. It would be stabilize the voltage gain of op-amp or voltage series feedback. So what is happening here? If gain would be increased because of any reason, so it would be not only increase the gain, it would also increase the output voltage. And we have already feed the output voltage back to the input network through the feedback network, feedback circuitry. So it would be also increase the VF, and if VF would be increased, so overall VD would be decreased, because we know that VD is what? VD is V in minus VF. So if VF is increased, so VD would be decreased, and if VD is decreased, your output voltage would be also decreased. In this it would be balance the circuit operation, and opposite in the case if the gain it decreases. Okay, so in this way we have seen that this would be stabilize the gain. Okay, negative feedback would be here, stabilize the gain of op-amp. Okay, the time is very less now. Rest of the topic will be discussed on the next lecture. Okay, Monday, maybe Monday. This would be the end of the 4th unit, and we would be start the 5th unit. Okay, thank you all of you for attending the lecture. Thanks a lot.